going the wrong way, D. D, come on, you're going the wrong way. So this trail has just been lined on either side with blueberries and bunchberries, just literally lining the trail. Let me show you what I mean. The whole way. I'm not exaggerating. Now you might think, oh, he's exaggerating, but the trail's just lined with ericaceous shrubs. Look at them, all of them. Beautiful, all the way. D? So here's a spot where we might be able to watch the meteor shower. Dee's eating a stick, by the way. She doesn't like blueberries, we tried that. But here's a nice little vista, I guess. And that should be roughly northeast up there. I don't got my compass out, but I got a pretty good idea. Rabbit Pond, I'm pretty sure that's what I want, is I want to follow this trail that way, but this might be a good, come on now, this might be a good vista, ultimately. Look at the blueberries. You see that? You see them? It's maybe a little hard to see, but they're just everywhere. You could literally feed yourself along this trail eating blueberries and bunchberries. I'm sure of it. Getting my first peek at Rabbit Pond there through the trees. But I think what's amazing are these rocks I'm standing on. Not too unusual to have a bunch of rocks in Maine, but look at these slabs of granite. And see the seam? See the fissure running along there? Okay, pretty cool, right? But this one, deep down in there is water. So the stream that's feeding this pond, maybe, I don't know, but just like an ice cave. Spooky. So, looks like we're coming up on Rabbit Pond here. Wow. If that doesn't scream Maine at you. Oh my goodness. You could camp right here. Oh my God. Look at that. D, come here. Come here. What do you think does this? They marked this as a trail marker, but what do you think, huh? I'd be lying if I said I knew. What is that out there? A beaver? A muskrat? I don't know what it is. Jeez. Look at everything hitting the top of the water. What the hell is all that? There's a whole lot of stuff hitting the top of the water, I can say that much. There was some kind of mammal swimming around out there. I guess it could have been a loon, but I don't think so. I think it was probably a beaver or weasel, muskrat. I don't know. Feels like good fishing. I don't know what it was though that was hitting the water. So, this is our destination to come watch the meteor shower. I'm at the peak of Turtle Ridge, or I think I am. Anywhere, so I'm up on this vista. D, don't do it. Certain death here over the edge. Go over that edge and you die. D, come here, don't do it. D, don't do it. Hey, come here. God, she's stupid. That, in the distance there, should be Katahdin. Gotta be. So there's Sing Sing Pond. That's pretty much where we're headed to. This is still Turtle Ridge. This is probably the big scenic view, but I'm trying to get a view of the northeastern sky. You don't see a lot of snakes in Maine. Oh, there's his rock. This is Sing Sing Pond. I'm in the Nahmakanta public land, state of Maine. I have not seen a soul today. Just me and the dog and animals. Seen a couple of moose. Moose poop everywhere. It's almost sunset. And I'm hoping that these moose come back. They've been eating along that edge there. At least a couple of times. So I'm assuming something will come back at dusk and eat the lily pads. So we'll see. How you gonna get through? How you gonna get through? What you gonna do? Oh my goodness, that was good. So, this is the campsite. It's not actually a real campsite, although it was flagged as one. Like they're gonna make it a real campsite, and there was a little note that said, "Here's where the campsite's gonna be." So that was pretty cool. You know, the key is that there's a clear spot in the middle, big enough to pitch a tent. Right, D? Right. And we did that. All good. Dee's going a little bit crazy right now, and I'm not sure why. She's running around crazy. She's kind of digging holes. Nope. Don't. I don't want you to. No, let's not dig holes, okay? It's a mess. So here we are. All of my gear laid out. Water. Notice the fishing rod holder thing. And I found a canoe. So I found a canoe. I'm all hooked up here. I got a ballast rock in the far end, and I've got a anchor rock paddle. So we're just waiting on it to, I don't know, maybe 5 o'clock or so. I'm gonna put Dee in the tent is what I'm gonna do, because she's afraid of the canoe, and she's gonna go crazy. If I'm out there in the canoe and she's here, she'll just go crazy. She does not like the red squirrel. She's real excited about trying to get that red squirrel. Oh, there she goes again. She is fired up. So hopefully she'll chill when I put her in the tent. She does not know what to do. Oh, now she's ashamed. Tell you what though, she's a good camping dog. She figured out real quick how to go under things. She goes into like army dog style on her stomach. She did that over a pile of moose poop. Yep, there was moose poop right under the tree. She went into army dog style, just went over it. She didn't care. Nope. So this is a speckled grouse, crested grouse, I think. Could be a pheasant or partridge, I really don't know. It's one of those giant birds that people hunt. They make this great beating sound with their wings when they take off, really scary. Dee's a really good example of why you don't bring dogs into nature preserves. She chases the birds. She runs around in circles like a madman. She's definitely a major disturbance. I mean, so are people, but, you know, I'm not literally hunting the animals. I wish I knew for sure if these were bunch berries, but I just don't know for sure. But this is the most beautiful patch of what I think are bunch berries so far. Just look at them. Oh my goodness. Look at the bunch berries and the blueberries mixed together. Just stunning. Dee, what do you think? Stunning? heading to Tumbledown Dick Falls, a waterfall, from my campsite at Tumbledown Dick Pond. So it's about a mile hike, maybe a mile and a half, I'm not really sure. But I don't have my pack on, and that's pretty cool. But as I'm hiking, I noticed down here towards the stream, I'm assuming this is Tumbledown Dick Stream, look at all this beaver activity. So there's sort of a bizarre beaver dam, I guess, maybe old and decrepit. It's not making a pond, that's for sure, but it's been so dry this year. Maybe this could be a pond if it weren't so dry. And then down in here, we've got another massive beaver dam. Again, this is about halfway along the trail to Tumbledown Dick Falls from Tumbledown Dick Pond. Now, see that footprint? That's a moose, and that's a big boy. So, it's a little old, but that's bigger than my hand. Those are moose prints for sure. So get a good look at this beaver dam. Can't imagine the beavers getting much out of it. And then up here, this looks more like the home. See, can you see these moose prints? It's a little hard to see. That's a moose print. It's huge. The soil's really soft, and so an animal like that's going to make some big imprints. And this is probably the dam. It could be inhabited. There's the access. I think that would normally be underwater. And as you can see here, the main body of the house. Up in there somewhere the beavers would live. But down here, I think normally that would be below water grade. Maybe the water level is right about that tree. And so the beavers could come and go safely. It's probably abandoned considering how low the water is. I don't know that for a fact, but feels like it. Anyway, spotted this on my hike. Thought it was kind of a special place with the dual dams. I guess depending on how high the water is, if the water were to run through here, and you can see, obviously, this is, when it's not such a dry year, there's water going through here. I mean, this is sandy soil from the bottom of a stream bed. Another huge moose print. So I'm assuming the beaver needed 2 dams to make this happen. Anyway, cool stuff. So this is Tumbledown Dick Falls, I think. I'll show you where the... Hey Dee, how you doing? I'll show you where the more waterfall part of this thing is at. 50% chance of rain. It definitely has cooled off a little, which is wonderful. It has been steamy. Not that hot. I'd say maybe 80, but 85% humidity. Man, it's been intense. Some more beaver activity. There's the sea of blueberries there. All right, I'm not even going to try not to step on these things. Oh. pretty sure there's just... I can't imagine there's more waterfall down there. Well, let's go to the waterfall. Come on. Looking good, D. Go. So, here we are at Tumbledown Pond, and there's a rock just barely in the pond that you can get to from the campsite. And Dee and I are sitting on it. Dee might be tired today. This was day 2. Dee likes to run back and forth constantly, so she goes about twice as many miles, and she chases all the animals. So Dee's tired. It's been really calm and humid and about 80 degrees so far. Finally, we got a little bit of a breeze, and it's not quite so hot. So this is one of those rare times in Maine where it can be breezy and it still feels really good, because normally it makes you cold. Not tonight. It's hot and humid enough that even sitting out here with a pair of shorts and a t-shirt on this rock, in this pond, that breeze feels good. It's almost 7 o'clock, so I'm going to sit here until the sun goes down, and if anything cool happens, I'll start this video back up. Dee, you ready? You ready? We are about to leave Tumbledown Pond campsite. It was supposed to be a lean-to, but it's not. There's, however, this cool rock that you can get to. You can step out onto that rock, and you can sit there and just watch the pond. Did see a giant bird that sounded like a raven and looked like a heron, but I mean, it was huge. like crane huge. So I'll have to figure out what that was, but he croaked like a raven. This is the campsite though. This is Tumbledown Dick Pond. Not a lean-to, a campsite, but nice campsite. The only unlocked boat or canoe was this one, and I don't recommend it. It's got holes in it. So, did not fish. The only way you could fish this thing is to be out there in a canoe or a boat. So here we go, D. You ready? We're heading back to the trailhead and then on to, I think, Nubble Farrar lean-to. Maybe this one will be a lean-to. Maybe it won't. Who cares? Off we go. This is very much a berry party. As I step through step over all these blueberries here. What I'm trying to get to are the blackberries, or this might be raspberries. Back in there. It's kind of hard to see. I'm trying to get to them though. If you're wondering to yourself, where are all the bears? Okay. That's bear poop right there. That's what that is. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, I bet the bear's coming back here and eat these, you'd be right. More bear poop. So just prove I was here. A raspberry. And yes, they're awesome. So I'm just doing a little driving around here. I don't know if you can see this swarming of, it actually looks like two different things. One of them looks like a small black fly. Now, I haven't dealt a lot with black flies, so I'm not sure if that's what these are. I rolled the windows up because they were swarming like mad. It's probably hard to see that they're just swarming around the truck. I got a photo of one. This video won't do it any justice, I don't think. But it's a mad swarm. If these are black flies, you'd have a problem. Have you ever heard of the book Blueberries for Sal? Well, if you grew up in Maine, or if your kids grew up in Maine, like mine did, you had this book. Well, this hike is a lot like Blueberries for Sal. There's just an endless amount of blueberries lining the trail all the way down, and I'm not kidding. All you have to do is get in close. Look at those. All those bushes you see on the left are blueberries. So anyway, let me tell you about Blueberries for Sal. It's basically a story about a mom and her kid, her daughter, and they're hiking and they're picking blueberries. And they both have a little bucket. And it's kind of funny because Sal, the little girl, she's eating her blueberries as fast as she can pick them. Mom, however, diligently filling up her bucket. Well, unbeknownst to mom and daughter, but the reader sees this, they're being followed by a black bear and her cub. So, female black bear and her cub, which for anybody should be terrifying, because you don't want to get between a black bear and her cub. But all ends well in this story, and they're one big happy human bear family, and they all have a great time picking blueberries. But that's a little what it feels like up here. Just haven't seen a bear yet. There's a good reason why you need to be real careful what you eat. Blueberries. Not a blueberry. I have no idea what that is, but it's not a blueberry. It may or may not be poisonous. Thought I'd point that out. Now I'm pretty sure these are bunch berries because they're in a bunch and they're red. And I'm pretty sure you can eat them and they're everywhere. But I'm not sure.